Hello everybody, welcome back to 7 Days. We are in the evacuation series, meaning we are playing around with the mod and the mods list, basically trying to create a whole new mod. What was that? We're trying to create a brand new mod, which is kind of a mix of floor is lava / trying to figure out a way of evacuating the city. There is more ideas coming to this mod, but first things first, we have to get the basics in. And to that end, I'm going to go over the rules of the game, just for those who are starting to watch and are curious about what the series is. Basically, we can't touch the ground after a certain amount of time. Eventually, there will be a mod governing this, but the mod is in the works, and right now it does indeed work. If you touch the asphalt, if you touch the pine forest, snow biome, sand, all of the basic biome things, plus gravel, I think is also in there, it will irradiate you, and it's a pretty heavy irradiation. It takes like half your health. Now, a couple of problems. When you first spawn in, you're still being irradiated, which means if you spawn on a road or in some sort of biome, you're basically screwed. But for now, what we're going to do is I'm going to play this week just to test and see what we could figure out, what we could do, and things like that. Obviously, I'm not going to leave it like that. I want the newbie coat to work again, but right now I don't know how to take the newbie coat back away from the, what mod is it? It's the Nearly Dead mod that takes off the newbie coat when you spawn back in, because you're obviously spawning in with some pretty decent stuff. Like, these are the things I spawned in with. So it takes away the newbie coat because you're getting all these items in place of it, plus food, water, meds now even, apparently. So we have stuff we're spawning in with, there's no sense in the newbie coat. But if we could take off the buffs that the newbie coat gives you, and instead give you the buff against the radiation for a certain amount of time, as long as the newbie coat should be working, then we'll have that part fixed. Now, another problem is we also have the problem of, well, the ground and everything is also irradiated to zombies. So every time a zombie spawns in and they're on the ground area, they also die, which is not intended. It will be fixed, and hopefully also fixed for the animals, because there's a wolf. Obviously, I want the zombies and the animals immune to this type of radiation, so we are going to eventually get that fixed. Like I said, I'm learning how to mod. In a lot of cases, some of the stuff that I've done so far, it's been because people have been gracious enough to help me with the coding. I do need to take all of the lessons on how to mod and actually do notes like I'm in school and everything, and therefore I will be a little bit better off on understanding exactly what I'm doing and how to implement it if I do it that way. The other rules, basically, whenever you die, you come back, you get a grouping of stuff and things that you start your new character with. It's almost like, because your days don't start over, you don't have your newbie coat, which we're going to kind of fix that and finagle that, hopefully. It's almost as if you heard the radio saying, here is a station we are setting up with, here is an evacuation point. You get to this evacuation point and you have to do a series of items in order to be evacuated from this location. Now, obviously, right now we're setting up our evacuation point according to the rules that will be set as a mission at the beginning. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but it's going to be how it is. And we're going to have to probably set up like a radio tower using a ham radio or something like that. And eventually building the ham radio, the radio tower, building a vehicle, that kind of thing, and eventually being evacuated out of the area. Those are the things that are in the works. But for now, basically every time you drop, that is your new character. Whatever weapons you drop with, whatever armor you're dropping with, that is your new spec. So, right, this time I got the shotgun, the compound crossbow, and I got a steel sledge. So when I went back and actually put my perk points in, I spec'd into those. Now, there are some things that you will spec into other than that, obviously, because I don't think you can spec into... I guess if you really, really wanted to hardcore play it, the only characters that could spec into finding all the stuff for the workbenches would be the ones that spawn in with a nail gun, a hammer, or something like that. We could go hardcore on that later on after we get everything sorted and figure out the best way in which to do this. Who knows? That might actually be a good way to do it, in which case there should be a spawn in for, say, the intellect tree, because we don't have anybody that I've seen spawn in with a baton, and we would probably need somebody who could spawn in with farmer supplies. That way farming areas could be set up at the evacuation points. Now, I have decided that since every time we die, according to the nearly death thing, your entire map is wiped clean, and you start back over at your spawn. Because our map has one spawn point, and that's on the map, that's not the mod, it's just the map that says we have one spawn point. We could technically do more than one spawn point whenever I get to the part of trying to figure out how to do a specialty map for this mod, which will eventually happen. In which case, you would spawn in 3 different biomes, as in 3 different evacuation sites, and you'd have to set up 3 different areas. And the evacuation would probably be, go to these coordinates, set up an evacuation, signal that you're there, that kind of thing. In which case you would have to go from your splashdown site or your drop site as this new character, get to the new location and build up the site in order to be noticed by the people trying to evacuate you, all the while trying to stay off the ground because there's a gas in the city that will kill you if you're caught in it, which is kind of how we're figuring this. The ground floor, there is a chance that the ground floor could have this gas in it. Right now, if you think about it, that right there, all of the inside of that building right there, where all of this wasteland ground is, that's all irradiated. But the normal floors in here, say this floor in here, on the ground floor looks like that. It's wood, it's not irradiated, it's fine. I think with this kind of lineup, so far, aside from the couple of problems we're having, like the zombies getting damaged and not having the newbie coat so you don't get protected to get to your location, I think some of this stuff is starting to work out really, really well, but we're going to run with the mod as is to see if we can figure out more problems that get dusted out as we play it. So that's where we're at. That's the long and the short of it right now. As I said, this mod is going to go a whole lot deeper. The more I learn about modding and the more I learn how to tag items and do all the pathing for it and everything else like that. No worries, guys. This is probably going to be a bit of a work, and we'll eventually get there. We'll eventually get there. Right now, there are so many bodies hitting the floor. That poor zombie didn't even ask for that. Where do we go from here? Better question. Where were we when we ended off? How long has it been since we were here? Where did we go? I think we went over there, actually. Yeah, because we made a bridge over there. We fell down there. We tried to make another bridge. I was trying to go see the top part of a restaurant and fell in. Of course, I fell off the building trying to find food. Okay, now that we've gotten all that established, did I leave enough wood? Yeah, I left enough wood. Also, we have determined that the best course of action whenever you get some high-tier items, like if you come in with a wrench or something like that, it's better to drop it at your base, because right now we have an auger, which there's not a whole lot of use for an auger because we can't go digging anyway, because the biome floor, even underneath this building, the biome floor is irradiated, so it's not going to help a whole lot. But there's a chance you could use it for breaking blocks and stuff like that in building, but right now we don't have a whole lot of gas anyway. Also, I've had several people ask me, because there's a couple of characters that did not have wrenches, and I needed a wrench in order to break things down. You can indeed scrap down an engine and get parts, mechanical parts. I have not been doing that because being up in the sky means that there's not going to be a whole lot of vehicles I can break down. So if I happen to have found an engine, until I get a couple of them under my belt, I'm not going to break them down. But yes, that is an option. I've had several people ask me, hey, can't you break that down? Can't you? Yes, you definitely can break that down. I would not recommend it until after you get to your 3rd engine. And that's assuming you remember after you get to your 3rd engine, because 9 times out of 10, I will forget. That's like, oh, cool, I've got that, I could break it down. I'll wait, and then I'll forget. So it is indeed a thing that you can possibly do if you need a wrench. Speaking of which, we had a wrench or 2 with this character, didn't we? Yeah, we had a wrench. Okay, so this character is fine. I don't think I can make any more wrenches. How are we doing for parts? We have 22 mechanical parts, which isn't bad. It could be better, though. This character's big flaw is having clay. Yeah, that's the biggest thing we're having an issue with. And I'm not going to take my wrench with me, just in case I happen to fall. I don't want to carry it with me, so... Okay, I fell the last time trying to go over there to that building, which really wasn't even all that important. I think I would rather go over here, because this seems like it's going to have more loot. Assuming I can keep from falling, because that seems to be like the main way in which I die is falling. No, don't do it. Don't. Crouch down. That way you get smaller intervals whenever you're moving, if you're crouched down. So many bags. I'm gonna get FPS problems because of all of this. No. Before I even get into this building, I need to run back home and eat. I forgot to eat. This character did get the, I gave healing factor to, which I stopped giving healing factor to a lot of my characters just because, it's kind of dangerous to give to your characters if you don't have access to a lot of food. But since these characters keep dropping with food stuff, like they've got lots and lots of food, why not use the perk, especially since I'm taking so much damage trying to get from one area to another area. Fluffy's got a whole lot of health. It's going to take him a second. It's trying really hard to spawn in an entire horde is what happened. Oh no. That's sad times. I actually have extra zombies coming in because I wanted lots and lots of zombies in world and all of them are dying. Sad days, guys. Get him! Hello, dude. Nice actual loot that I can get. Oh, and flower pots. Okay. Calm down. Alright. Okay, is this going to be an area I can bring my wrench to and get lots and lots of parts? Possibly, but there might be breakaway floors, so let's find out whether or not there's a whole lot of bad guys and break apart floors before we go bringing stuff and things over here that are kind of hard to come by. Found somebody's shorts. Thanks. 2 shotgun messiahs, a couple more buckets. I just took out that entire daggone wall. Uh-oh. Dadgummit, I just keep getting hit. Keep getting hit. Thankfully, I'm not taking as much damage, but I definitely take a lot of damage from the radiation. Also, by the way, the things that I was explaining earlier, there are some caveats to that. If there happens to be, like, wasteland ground inside of a building because the building has collapsed, that stuff is also irradiated, in which case standing on it is a very, very bad idea. It should definitely keep you on your toes, though. That's for sure. Look at that. Just put that stuff on. Am I wearing pants? Yes, I'm wearing pants. Housekeeping. Okay, I'm not going down there. The not going on the ground floor is entirely up to the player because the ground floor is technically not irradiated in most areas unless, of course, there is wasteland ground or something like that in that bottom area. But since I started out the playthrough saying I'm not going on the ground floor, I'm not going to change that. And the way in which you can roleplay this and for it to be immersive is essentially whenever the gas starts up, which I figure would be about 12 hours after you drop. Probably a little bit less, so that there's a little bit of a panic to get to an area, that once the gas envelops the city, it kind of leaks into buildings, and there's certain strengths of that gas inside of a building, depending on whether or not the windows were open and that kind of thing. So if you're looking for a role-playing... a role-playing session, that's how you play it off. My goodness. Zombies. So obviously if there's like an open floor area and you've got broken down foundation and it's wasteland area that's on the ground floor of it, like it's broken down ground like you see in the wasteland, that could be a building in which the gases have leaked inside the building. And as your character may not always know exactly where those sections are going to be, it's easy to say, hey, this building I might want to go further down ground, or heck, even basement if I want to, but I have to be very careful because there might be pools of this gas built up. I am talking! Pools of this gas built up in certain locations, in which case it might be dangerous. Now, how on earth you're supposed to roleplay that the sidewalk is okay to travel on, and see, that's the ground. There it goes. That's exactly what I was actually talking about. He just demonstrated it. There is what would be considered the wasteland ground block right there, and it's irradiated. So if I go down there and step on that, that's going to kill me. So the way you're supposed to roleplay okay, it's not okay to stand inside the road, but I can stand on the sidewalk. There's really not a good way to roleplay that one. Not really. So I think it would be better off to stay off of the ground floor in that case and just use the inside of the buildings. In which case it makes a bit more sense if you're attempting a roleplay scenario. In which case having a spawn point that is inside or on a building would probably be a good idea. Not sure how many people roleplay 7 days, but it would be a fun thing to see. Don't do it. Okay, this window right here allows me to come outside and take a peek around. Vitamin? Aha, back to the stairs. I was wondering where those were. There's a whole lot of steel inside this building with all these vending machines. Doesn't look like there's any wasteland floor in here, so we should be fine. Zombies! Where are you guys at? Come here. Nice. I think I've gotten used to the sledgehammer. Oh! Found someone's corn and toilet paper. Ew. There are a lot of things in here, but I'm not necessarily seeing a whole lot of stuff for mechanical parts. Okay, all the way around here. Speaking of which, I can take my map marker off. I was off by a little bit. I'm getting a little bit better at using the coordinates to find my location. Don't do the breaking of the things. Nice. Okay. Ugh. Hello? Just stop with that noise, dude. Okay. I think we're at the top floor. Where were the stairs? Back on the other side, right? I did have access to the roof via the stairs, correct? There are gonna be, like, a lot of things over here I can get. I probably need to go get that wrench and come back and get it. Hi. Hello. Stop running. Ah, my face. Hello. Pardon? Jeez, there's no way you just stood up ready to swing, dude. And over to the other side, which I don't think is going to be all that important because I've already cleared all of these buildings. That just takes me into the room that I have already cleared. Yep. Okay, so do we go back, get the wrench, and come over here and break all of the things down? Or do we continue on exploring? It's a big parking lot of death here. We can get over there. I'm not sure that that affords me very many more spaces, though. Whereas finally working my way across the street in my own area might be a better, you know, spend of my time. Yep, one farm plot. I mean, one farm plot is a little bit of food every once in a great blue moon, so, I mean, it's better than nothing. I want to make sure that through all of this, all of the mechanics that are involved in the base game, the building, the farming, heck, even the mining needs to have, like, a place in it. Not sure exactly how the mining is going to have a place in it, because mining denotes you're going to dig around the ground, and that's just not a good idea. What should we go with? Aloe this time? Yeah. Don't have the ability to make the first aid bandages, but should I get the ability to, that would be a good one to have. Okay, where do we go now? We've been all the way that way. Do I want to start trying to work my way this way? Or go off in that direction? Because I was actually hoping that what I could do is make it into a specific POI, possibly even custom build the POI that people are supposed to be making it to. Let's try going that way since it's kind of closer. You know, I've got a lot of stuff inside my own building I need to break down for mechanical parts. It lost a level. Dadgummit. I have been told I can build off of those. Okay. You know, I think we go around here rather than trying to go... Yeah, let's do 2 lines just in case I have to run anybody back through here. There's a chance for a large swarm to come in from down there, so... Not a whole heck of a lot in here, is there? Let's go ahead and get these guys off the floor. I don't want to accidentally trip on those should I get ran back through here. Knock knock. Found another bucket. Found another zombie. Come on over here, dude. Ow. Okay, I have how many points? 2 points. I think we were going into strength so I could put some more money, some more points into my boomstick. Yeah, let's do that. And into my skull crusher. There we go. Give me all of these potted plants, please. Okay, that's fine. There's actually still a chicken in here. Sorry, chicken, there's not a whole lot of creatures that are left. Apparently you have found a nice hiding spot and managed to stay alive during the apocalypse and during the subsequent gas leak that came afterwards. There we go. Hey, I found the loot room. It's not where I was trying to go, but, you know, since I'm here. Hello? Wow, you are kind of very creepy right there. And apparently he's armored. Ow. Whoa. We have rads. We have got big dude. Paul, what are you doing? Oh no, I need... It's not okay, guys. It's not okay. You can't just keep doing this. Hey, I got a shovel? Nice. And also I'm not sure if I put it in there before, but this mod actually works. It takes 2 cash in order to make 1 token. So just so you know, there is a way of converting those, so don't get rid of them just because you can't ever go see a trader. Okay, I took his arms off. Who am I hearing? Oh, you guys finally found me. Hey, how are you? Okay, what did we get? 2 medical journals. Whoa, lots of stuff. Vehicle adventures, forge ahead. I had another medical journal in my pocket. I'll hold on to that, and I will put this rad inside here because I have now officially run into rads. It would be a good idea if I could do something about them. Hey! I've got meds. Which direction do I need to go in order to get back to base? Well, that was a pretty good haul, and I do think that we probably need to take the wrench with us to that building, because that building definitely looks like it's got some stuff and things that will give us a lot of materials. Not to mention I probably need to come downstairs and gather up all of these materials. That's the second time I've heard that. What was that? It's gotta be like an exploding zombie or something like that, that's dying of radiation or something and then explodes. I think. Oh, there he goes. They're fine as long as they don't step off the sidewalk. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get another wrench put away inside the box, so my next character will definitely have one in case I drop with this one. And then we're going to go back to the building that we opened up over there. And, well, actually, we need to do a whole lot of that. We need to go to this building and that building over there, plus the inside of this building, and just do a whole bunch of wrenching and getting all of the materials back before we do anything else. Just remember, as we're doing this, once this mod list becomes available and everything, that the issue is going to be going further and further out for more and more materials, and you're having to look for more and more items because things do not respawn. So I think as far as the loot table, the only thing I've seen that needs to change is possibly the clay. Because half the time in most of the playthroughs that I have done, I have gotten clay on day 1 whenever I drop. Now, obviously after we get the newbie coat going, you'll still be able to get some clay, but it's whether or not the character has the ability to do the clay or whatever. And if we eventually get to where in this mod you spec out into several different types of characters, like you have a farmer, you have a digger, you have all of these different types of characters, it would actually need to be, for role-playing sake, need to be the character that drops with the items in order to do those things, the tools in which to do those things. The only stipulation is, well, if you happen to be not a builder, you wouldn't be able to go anywhere until a builder came and put ladders in for you. So I'm not sure how far we want to go with the role-playing thing. That seems like it could be, a bit of a problem. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the day. Tomorrow we're going to be working our way through all of the buildings that we've opened up today and go ahead and get some wrenching done. And since we have a semi-stable path, everything should be alright. Like I said, I will be going through and working on the mod some more, but it's going to be like week intervals right now. We're just going to have to deal with no newbie coat, so if we drop, it's going to be a little bit testy trying to get to the next base, which could theoretically possibly be something that you would be interested in doing for your playthrough. I don't know. All I know is we're going to continue to experiment with it to see how it actually plays and then augment as we go. So I will see you in the next one where we legitimately play floor is lava and we have to put wood on our feet in order to survive, which is weird. I will see you next time. You have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and you stay shiny. Bye!